Good evening. How are you?
I'm good. Since this
Good.
morning.
How's your day going?
Okay, yours.
Good, busy, but good.
Remember this
Oh,
guy?
yes. Have you tried it yet?
A little bit.
How was it?
It's weird. It's feels so much looser than the other one, if that's the best way to put it.
Yeah.
So
The, so it's the touch is just different.
yeah. Nora's probably not going to make it to class. She got to my house around 2:30, and
Oh.
I'm sure that traffic is just horrible.
Oh yeah,
So yeah,
I'm sure. What time did she leave your house?
3:30ish, maybe.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So. And she said it was bad going that way, when she was coming. So she
Yeah.
brought, she brought Butters with her,
Oh,
and
she
yeah,
did.
yeah. He's so cute. He's such
That's
a cute dog.
like her little buddy, huh?
Yeah. Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Well, we'll go ahead and get started, and you'll have to let me know how you do on that.
Okay.
All right, here we go. All right, let's start with words. Ready? Happen, apply, requirement, exchange, 30, waiting, period, association, territory, notes, couple, walk, warm, reports, station, neither, representative, pictures, none, February, member, itself, occasion, somewhat, minute, where, extremely, forwarding, instance. Okay, now these are common phrases that we often hear. So you're going to phrase what you can, some you can't. You're going to hear cross-examination, which is KROX, direct examination, DREX, defendant's exhibit, DEX, government's exhibit, GOX, plaintiff's exhibit, PLEX. Let's see, people's exhibit is PEX, respondent's exhibit, REX. Okay, so here we go. Do you ever? Do you feel? Do you have? Do you recollect? Do you remember? Do you think? Do you understand? Do you want? Does he believe? Does he feel? Does he have? Does he recall? Does he recollect? Does he remember? Does he understand? Does he want? $1 billion, $1 billion, $100, $100, $1 million, $1 million, $1,000, $1,000, beyond a reasonable doubt, beyond all reasonable doubt, during the, in effect, into effect, do you ever, have you ever, I don't ever, she ever, they ever, whether he ever, whether I ever, preponderance of the evidence, received in evidence, cross-examination, direct examination, defendant's exhibit, government's exhibit, plaintiff's exhibit, people's exhibit, respondent's exhibit, state's exhibit. Now, I don't have a brief for that, but I never hear state's exhibit. It's probably something like STAX or something. but I never hear states exhibit. So, excuse me. Recross examination, redirect examination, and I don't have briefs for those. Any fact, as a matter of fact, in fact. All right, let me just state this so I know we covered it. All right. All right, so now let's go ahead and do this drill. This is the is, his, as drill. So I'm going to give you the phrases first and then the sentences. Okay. His gun is that as good. His alibi is going as cool. His car is this as if. His turn is taking as bright. His job is done as blue. His luck is saying as smart. His hat is there as bright. His plan is doing as lucky. His lid is quiet as tall. His case is pretty as strong. His cup is mild, is here as long. His trial is tired as mild. And then here are the sentences. He cleaned his room. His hair is brown. His ideas are good. This book is his. His test is perfect. His eyes were shut. Where is his bike? What is his age? Give him his pencil. Where is his car? What is his motive? Is his dad home now? What is the time now? Is this note clear? His home is in Texas. Is everyone here now? Here is his bus now. Is that all there is? There is his taxi cab. Here is his book. Is this his jacket? Where is his home? Why is his son going? Is that his sister? I can't run as fast. He tries as hard as I. I am as lucky as he is. The sun is as bright today. As to that, I don't know. The sea is just as deep. The sky is as blue there. The case is as hard as any. He is as quiet as a mouse. She is as good as gold. Joe is as tall as his dad. As for me, I voted yes. All right. Now let's do some names and addresses. Here we go. Ready? Loretta M. Contreras. Contreras. 1 Post Street, San Francisco, California, 94104. Donna Murray. AY 5751 North Evangeline Avenue, Dearborn Heights, Michigan 48127. Ray G. Werner, WERNER, Penwood High School, 2550 Green Avenue, Lansdowne, Oregon 99050. Ann T. Johnson, JOHNSON, Nova Chapter, PSI 3245 Rio Drive, apartment 307, Falls Church, Virginia 22041. Mr. David L. Wilson, WILSON, 5250 Palm Way, Fern Beach, Florida 33401. Carol B. Aber, ABER, 8450 West Park, Suite 109, Houston, Texas 77063. Patty G. Veith, VEITH, 2424 West 23rd Street, Erie, Pennsylvania 16514. Kobe A. Ramp, RAMP, Digital Equipment Corporation, 428 Main Street, Hudson, Massachusetts 01749. Fran M. Rugg, RUGG, 2830 Weapons Way, China Lake, California 93540. All right. Now, good. That machine is doing okay?
It is. It isn't that. It's just that I'm getting the stitching done
Good.
easier and not freaking out as much. So it's really, really helping.
Good. Oh,
So,
I'm
but yeah,
sorry.
the number bar is kind of weird because before I kind of had like a little ledge that my fingers kind of go up against, and here I don't have that. So, and the keys are looser. They're not as, I don't know, but
Yeah,
I'm doing okay.
good. I know what you're talking about, though. Yeah, everything's just kind of loose instead of like a more firm touch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
If you're watching this recording, Nora, hurry up. I miss it already.
That's awesome.
But thank goodness I have this one,
Oh, that's great. Yeah, that's definitely gonna, not that she's not already motivated, but that's really gonna
Yeah.
motivate her.
Yeah, right?
Oh,
I
yeah.
know. Yeah.
That was very nice that you let her borrow your
Ah,
machine. All right. I'm just dating this. All right, here we go.
I freaked out earlier because I thought she left and I knew that there was something that I had to sync with my software and I
Yeah.
couldn't figure it out. So I'm calling Robert. I'm going, please answer. And he did, and he got it working. So yeah.
But you got it figured out?
Yeah, he helped me
Oh, good.
because you've got to go into the software and change stuff, and
Yes. Yep. Yeah.
I'm
Well,
just
good.
focusing on speed, not that part.
Yeah, he's incredible with that stuff. It's like never a big deal to him. Like, oh yeah, no worries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I know. For somebody like you and I, would be like, ah.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. So these are going to be different types of doctors. We started these last week. So this is like a continuation. Okay. All right. Here we go. nuclear medicine physician, obstetrician, occupational medicine specialist, oncologist, ophthalmologist, orthopedic foot, ankle surgeon, orthopedic reconstructive surgeon, orthopedic spine surgeon, orthopedic surgeon, pain management physician, pathologist, pediatric cardiologist, pediatric critical care physician, pediatric endocrinologist, pediatric gastroenterologist, pediatric hematologist, oncologist, pediatric internist, pediatric pulmonologist, pediatric radiologist, pediatric surgeon, pediatrician, peripheral vascular disease physician, physical medicine and rehabilitation physician, plastic reconstructive surgeon, preventative medicine physician, psychiatrist, pulmonary critical care physician, pulmonary disease physician, radiation oncologist, radiologist, reproductive endocrinologist, rheumatologist, sleep medicine specialist, sports medicine specialist, surgical oncologist, thoracic surgeon, transplant surgeon, trauma surgeon, urgent care physician, urologist, vascular surgeon. All right. Now I've got some sentences that focus on ordinals. Okay, here we go. It was the first day of the 12th month that they had their 43rd anniversary. The 23rd Order of the Elks was present on the 11th. The 6th horse in the 7th race came in 8th in a field of 9. On the 3rd day of the 5th month, there was only 22 present of the 22nd Battalion on duty. Our 10th and 20th reunions were held on the 31st day of the 2nd month. The 14th person in the 21st row won the 3rd prize. The 50th person was selected as the 33rd recipient for the second time. Only 20 applicants finished in the 5th round. She was the 19th. He was the 53rd. They were the 41st in line. The birthdays of the 4th month were on the 13th, the 24th, and the 1st. I only saw the 63rd annual parade held on the 16th. Their first choice proved to be the 87th in a group of second timers. We won the 5th, the 61st, the 18th, and the 23rd try. Just the 25 placed in the top 100. The 25th meeting was held on the 21st of the 3rd month. He succeeded on the 80th take of the first day of the 33rd week. The 23rd is on the 5th by the 1st, next to the 93rd, near the 18th, by the 35th, on the 9th, with the 43rd in the 2nd, at the 13th, in the 53rd, for the 21st, by the 90th, to the 72nd. It was on the 9th hole in the 3rd round of the 2nd year, after the 4th day in the 8th month, by the 43rd person at the 17th event. Somebody got pretty crafty with those. All right. I was highlighting all of them so that they would stand out more when I go to read them. Let's see, there's just a few that I missed. Okay. I love that drill. It's one of my favorites. I don't know who made it, but it's a good one. So, all right. Let's see, how are we doing on time? Good, we're doing okay. All right, let's go ahead and we'll just do some Tangle Tamers and then moving on to literary. I have a funny literary to read you. You're gonna get a kick out of this. All right, so we'll do Tangle Tamers and then move right into literary, okay? All right, here we go. Ready? All right. Proof of possession. Willful or malicious. Intimidation or conspiracy. Synonymous with possession. Self-addressed envelope. 4-inch by 7-inch. By grantee to grantor. Normal business affairs. Inhabited or unoccupied. Voluntary giving and receiving. contrary to popular belief, unconscious from intoxication, most important requisite, incurring legal liability, ordinarily sufficient, emancipatory statutes, voluntary manslaughter, ostensible authority. All right. Move into literary. This actually came from a magazine article in Housekeeping, and the year's 1955, May 13, 1955, of Housekeeping. And it's called The Good Wife's Guide. Have you heard this? Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. So I'm going to read this as our literary. Okay, let me just date this. All right, here we go. All right, so I'm going to start at 120, and I'll work my way to 140. Okay. All right, here we go. This was no joke. This was like a real good wife's guide. So pretty amazing how things have changed. Number 1, have dinner ready. Plan ahead, even the night before, to have a delicious meal ready on time for his return. This is a way of letting him know that you have been thinking about him and are concerned about his needs. Most men are hungry when they get home, and the prospect of a good meal is part of the warm welcome needed. Number 2, prepare yourself. Take 15 minutes to rest so you'll be refreshed when he arrives. Touch up your makeup, put a ribbon in your hair, and be fresh looking. He has just been with a lot of work-weary people. Number 3, be a little gay and a little more interesting for him. His boring day may need a lift, and one of your duties is to provide it. Number 4, clear away the clutter. Make one last trip through the main part of the house just before your husband arrives. Run a dust cloth over the tables. Number 5, during the cooler months of the year, you should prepare and light a fire for him to unwind by. Your husband will feel he has reached a haven of rest and order, and it will give you a lift too. After all, catering to his comfort will provide you with immense personal satisfaction. Number 6, minimize all noise. At the time of his arrival, eliminate all noise of the washer, dryer, or vacuum. Encourage the children to be quiet. Number 7, be happy to see him. Number 8, greet him with a warm smile and show sincerity in your desire to please him. Number 9, listen to him. You may have a dozen important things to tell him, but the moment of his arrival is not the time. Let him talk first. Remember, his topics of conversation are more important than yours. Number 10, don't greet him with complaints and problems. Number 11, don't complain if he's late for dinner, or even if he stays out all night. Count this as minor compared to what he might have gone through at work. Number 12, make him comfortable. Have him lean back in a comfortable chair or lie him down in the bedroom. Have a cool or warm drink ready for him. Number 13, arrange his pillow and offer to take off his shoes. Speak in a low, soothing, and pleasant voice. Number 14, don't ask him questions about his actions or question his judgment or integrity. Remember, he is the master of the house, and as such, will always exercise his will with fairness and truthfulness. You have no right to question him. Number 15, a good wife always knows her place. All right. Isn't that I mean, the fact that this, okay, the one that gets me is
Staying out all night.
yes, don't complain if he's late or even if he stays out all night. Count this as minor compared to what he has gone through at work.
Oh, that's funny. I mean, some of it, okay, I'm going to get hate for this, but you know what? So many people, the whole part in the Bible about women, how should be submissive to your husbands, but you know what? It goes the other way too.
Yeah, no, yes.
And yeah.
Right.
So anyway, but that's hilarious. Have a cool or warm drink waiting for him.
Yes.
And don't talk first. Don't talk first. Let him talk. After all, he's the master of the house. Adam was walking by. That's funny. You have to send me that one.
I will.
I saw something like that on Facebook, but I don't think that's hilarious. It's just so funny.
Oh my goodness. I know. I just crack up at that, I came across it today and I go, okay, I got to read that again because it's been a while.
Well, you know what? It is a good one to read because to practice a poker face.
Yes.
Because I found myself going,
yes.
I mean, you just.
That's right. Exactly.
You can't show any emotion. Oh my gosh.
Right.
That's so funny though.
I know.
Oh my gosh.
So, and yeah, I mean, that was, you think about it. I mean, I know 1955 was a long time ago, but it wasn't that long. I mean, I was before I was born, but still, that's like a whole different era. I mean, so many things have changed. Like women work now, women didn't used to work. A lot of things have changed.
That's the year that my parents got married.
Wow.
1955.
Wow.
So, but I don't think it was anything like that. I think she was more ahead of her time, and she did work, I think. So she always worked when I was growing up.
Oh, wow.
And that was the 60s. So
yeah.
But still,
yeah. It's changed so much.
Does it have pictures too or drawings,
Yeah, it has one drawing or one picture, and it shows the wife leaning over the stove, but the kids look like they're fighting and the husband's looking at her like, I'll have to show it to you.
Can't you shut them up?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man, I'll definitely send you that.
Make sure that the children stay quiet.
Yes.
Minimize the noise.
And don't run the vacuum or
the washer or dryer.
Yes, that's right.
That's so funny.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So I've got some jury charge and it's on entrapment. Okay. And I'm going to read this once at 160, then at 140, because it's only like 2 paragraphs long. Okay. So 160, 140, 120. All right. All right. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the defendant is employing the defense of entrapment. To constitute a defense, the entrapment must be unlawful. Unlawful entrapment means that the idea of committing the crime was initiated by the law enforcement officers or their agents rather than by the defendant, and that he had no previous disposition to violate the law, and that they urged and induced him to commit the crime charged. This defense is based on the policy of the law not to ensnare or entrap innocent persons into the commission of a crime, and the burden is on the government to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that the defendant was not entrapped. The defense of unlawful entrapment is not established if the defendant was either engaged in similar crimes or was ready and willing to violate the law, and the law enforcement officers or their agents merely afforded him the opportunity of committing the crime. All right, so let's do that again at 140, okay? Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the defendant is employing the defense of entrapment. To constitute a defense, the entrapment must be unlawful. Unlawful entrapment means that the idea of committing the crime was initiated by the law enforcement officers or their agents rather than by the defendant, and that he had no previous disposition to violate the law, and that they urged and induced him to commit the crime charged. This defense is based on the policy of the law not to ensnare or entrap innocent persons into the commission of a crime, and the burden is on the government to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that the defendant was not entrapped. The defense of unlawful entrapment is not established if the defendant was either engaged in similar crimes or was ready and willing to violate the law, and the law enforcement officers or their agents merely afforded him the opportunity of committing the crime. Okay, so last time at 120. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the defendant is employing the defense of entrapment. To constitute a defense, the entrapment must be unlawful. Unlawful entrapment means that the idea of committing the crime was initiated by the law enforcement officers or their agents rather than by the defendant, and that he had no previous disposition to violate the law, and that they urged and induced him to commit the crime charged. This defense is based on the policy of the law not to ensnare or entrap innocent persons into the commission of a crime, and the burden is on the government to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that the defendant was not entrapped. The defense of unlawful entrapment is not established if the defendant was either engaged in similar crimes or was ready and willing to violate the law, and the law enforcement officers or their agents merely afforded him the opportunity of committing the crime. All right, so we'll go ahead and do some Q&A. All right, this is going to be a court case. Oh, you know what? Hold on one second. I grabbed one mid speed and one high speed, so I don't know why I did that. I did that on accident. All right. Here we go. Okay. Let's see here. Plaintiff is questioning. Okay. Oh, and you're going to hear methamphetamine and then meth. So meth, I just do MEGT, and then methamphetamine, I just do meth. That tells me it's methamphetamine because that word is horribly long to write. Okay. All right. So we'll start at 120 and work our way to 160. Okay, here we go. How about methamphetamine labs themselves? In a lab, just in a preliminary hearing. Okay, now in this particular case, did he analyze a substance or a group of items packaged under lab number 1715303? Yes. Under Oxnard Sheriff's Department? Yes, he did. Did he tell you what names were on the packaging when it was received? Yes. What were the names? As far as names of defendants or suspects. Oh, yes. Heidi Patterson and Thomas Myers. Did you say Thomas Myers? That's my recollection, Thomas Myers. Would reviewing your report refresh your recollection? Yes, it would. With the court's permission? Yes, you may. I'm sorry, Sean Thomas Myers. Did he tell you the offense date on? Yes, he did. What was that? I don't recall specifically. If I could refer to my report. If that would refresh your recollection, go ahead. The offense date was September 15, 2014. Did he tell you when he analyzed the items? Yes, October 17. Thank you. Now, the items were numbered, correct? Yes. And I'm going to skip over this for now. Let's look at items 102 and 103. Did he analyze any of those items? Yes, I believe he looked at all of those. Okay, now what tests did he do? Can I refer to my report? If that would refresh your recollection, yes, you may. Okay, well, those items, he performed an exam as well as a chemical test. Did he have an opinion as to what the substances were in all of those items? Yes, he believed they were marijuana. Okay, and did he weigh those items? Yes, he did. Okay, now what was the net weight of this item? Again, if I could refer to my notes. If that would refresh your recollection. Yes, it would. Yes, you may. Okay, 8.16 grams. How about item 103? That would be 9.62 grams. Okay, now that was all marijuana? Correct. Okay, now on these other items, what tests did he perform on those? Again, if I could refer to my notes. If he could have an ongoing allowance for that, Your Honor, it would probably save some time. Yes, an ongoing allowance is fine. On these, he performed a color test, a microcrystal test, and a thin layer. I'm sorry, I'm not a scientist. It was a chromograph or something like that. Did he tell you what the results of those tests were? Yes, all three of these items contained, I'm sorry, both of these two items contained methamphetamine. Okay, and the weight? You said the weight. Now, as to this item, That particular one that Deputy Ramos testified to earlier, he said that was damp or moist. Yes, it was. Did you ever ask Mr. Masters if those tests appeared valid? Yes, he did, and they did. What did he say? He said, yes, they are. They are valid. And the tests he performed are currently accepted in the scientific community? Yes, they are. Were these done in accordance with his training and experience? Yes, they were. His opinion as to the suspected methamphetamine, what was that? That all 3 items were marijuana and methamphetamine. And these others were suspected methamphetamine? Yes, they contained methamphetamine. Now, based on Mr. Masters' experience with methamphetamine labs, did you ask him about the items that he testified to, that he tested, that Deputy Ramos testified was moist? Yes, I did. Did you ask him about why it would have been dry and what that meant? Yes, I did. What was that? What did he say? He said a part of the process is to wash methamphetamine with the acetone, and it is possible that when Deputy Ramos touched the methamphetamine, it could have been moist because acetone dries very rapidly, and it would be very common for it to be dry several hours later when Mr. Masters came on the scene to collect the evidence. But did he testify that it would be a stage of processing? Yes, he did. Okay, thank you very much. I have nothing further, Your Honor. Oh, I do. One more. I'm sorry. I take that back. Go ahead. It appears based on these that he had over 13 grams of methamphetamine found. Correct. Did you form an opinion whether that was possessed for sales? Yes, I did. What is your opinion? I believe based on the quantity of methamphetamine and the other items located in the residence, it was possession for sales. Thank you. I have nothing further, Your Honor. Mr. Waltz, thank you, Your Honor. Deputy, when you wrote your report, you indicated, I don't see a page number here, but you said what seemed to be the second page in a separate container. I located a coffee filter which contained a like crystalline substance. Is that correct? If I could refer to my report? Yes, if it will refresh your recollection, it will. Yes, you may. Okay, yes, that's correct. Yet we just heard Deputy Ramos testify a minute ago. It was, in fact, he who located that. Is that right? Yes, I located it and pointed it out to me. So when I mentioned that it was in my report, I was implying all of that. Okay, well, you didn't actually indicate in your report that Deputy Ramos located the coffee filter, then brought it to your attention, did you? I did not put that in my report, no. Okay, however, later on in your report, you do say you gave Deputy Ramos credit for being the one who tested the substance found. Is that right? That's correct. Okay, you also interviewed a young man by the name of, what's his name? Let's see, Mason, the son of Sean Myers. You interviewed the son of Sean Myers, correct? Yes. You asked him about smelling any chemical odors in the house, right? Correct. He said he did not smell any chemical odors in the house. Is that right? Yes, that is correct. Okay, he said he lived in the house about 8 months, correct? Yes. He said he never saw any glassware or large beakers in the home, right? That's correct. He said he never had seen any burners in the home, right? Correct. He said he had never seen any methamphetamine in the home, right? Correct. He also said that he had never seen anything showing the manufacturing of methamphetamine, right? Well, and anything to make methamphetamine. He never noticed any methamphetamine activity going on in that house, correct? That is correct. He did, however, tell you that his dad had some marijuana plants, right? Yep. And yes, he had seen the marijuana growing in the house, right? Yes. When you interviewed John Masters, he said to you that the methamphetamine that had been washed with acetone would dry very rapidly, correct? Correct. Did he give you a time or an estimate of what he thought it would take for methamphetamine to dry? I did not ask him that. Okay, thank you. I have nothing further. Counsel, I have no questions. Thank you. Counsel, anything further? No, Your Honor. Thank you. May this witness be excused? Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. You may step down. Any further witnesses on your behalf of the people? No, Your Honor. People rest? Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Wilson, any defense on behalf of Mr. Myers? No, Your Honor. Any defense on behalf of Ms. Patterson? None, Your Honor. Motion by the people. People move to have the defendants held to answer for any and all crimes evidenced by the preliminary hearing. Mr. Wilson, Your Honor, I'd ask the court to not hold Mr. Myers to answer for this manufacturing of methamphetamine charge. That is count 1. There's really no evidence that has been presented to show any manufacturing of methamphetamine. We have this young man interviewed at the scene. He indicates there was no strong odor of any chemicals. None of the materials found to manufacture, none of the materials, glassware, beakers, none of those kinds of things were located at the scene. No burners, anything to that effect. We have Deputy Ramos simply saying that he thought the methamphetamine located in the coffee filter appeared to be a little wet to him. The lab analyst indicated that the acetone would dry very rapidly. We have Detective Hogan indicating he arrived an hour to an hour and a half later, and he felt as if that methamphetamine was still damp. And then the coffee filter was still damp when he arrived. That contradicts Deputy Ramos' testimony, where he said that it was damp, but the coffee filter was dry. It seems that the testimony provided by Deputy Ramos would show that we were later in time, if you will. Now, if the coffee filter and the methamphetamine were drying, and then we have Detective Hogan show up an hour later, and now all of a sudden, we've gone back in time to the point where both the coffee filter and the methamphetamine are damp, which is just crazy, considering the lab shows that the acetone would dry very rapidly. So we also have Deputy Ramos, based on his opinion, saying that he didn't make entry into the house until approximately 30 minutes after his arrival. What we have is this methamphetamine that's supposedly damp out to 2 hours after the officers arrive on the scene, where they locate his front yard. They locate Mr. Myers in his front yard. So we have a minimum of an hour and a half gap, maybe 2 hours, maybe more, of a substance that dries very rapidly, according to the lab. So I think what we have here is insufficient evidence or proof to show that there is no manufacturing going on. Clearly, there is no possession of manufacturing. There is possession. That's fine. I can take that. I would submit on count 2. I think the court should not hold him on count 1. As to count 4, I don't believe there's been sufficient evidence to show that there has been any endangerment to the child that was placed in any danger, according to count 4, based on the young man's own testimony and his statements to the law enforcement. He never really saw anything going on. No manufacturing, no sales, no anything similar to that. I would submit to the court's discretion as to 2 and 3, but ask that the court throw out order number 1 and 4. Okay, so we'll stop there. Let me see. Hold on one second. I kept thinking we were going to finish this, but yeah, we've got probably about like 5 pages left. All right, so we'll finish that tomorrow. Okay. All right, so we'll do one read back. Okay, and I'll read this. I'll do 160, 140, 120. Okay. All right, let me find my spot here. And let's see. Okay, yeah, this is it. Okay, so your word list, you're going to hear conversation, proceeding, pedestrian, motion, in other words, vehicle, eastbound, Mrs. Boyd, red lights, at that time, Mr. Miller, Vermont, pursuing. That's about it. All right. This is going to be plaintiff questioning. So we'll start at 160, okay? All right, here we go. Now, you saw one vehicle in motion which was proceeding away from you in an eastbound direction. That is correct. Did you see any other vehicles in motion, either going east or west, at the time you saw this eastbound vehicle? No, sir. Did you see any pedestrians around the street or in the street itself? Not in the street, no, sir. In other words, when you say you saw this vehicle going east at a normal rate of speed, approximately what number of miles per hour do you mean? Well, the vehicle didn't attract my attention as far as being a speeding vehicle. It appeared to be just driving at a normal rate of speed for that street at that time of night. Now, when you had this conversation with Mrs. Boyd, did she relate anything about this eastbound moving vehicle? Yes, she did. All right. Now, as a result of that conversation, what did you and Mr. Miller do? We immediately pursued the vehicle. Now, when you say you pursued the vehicle, will you tell us just what you did? We turned on the red lights of the police vehicle and accelerated rapidly in pursuit of the vehicle. Did the police unit stop the vehicle that you were pursuing? Yes, sir. And where did you stop the vehicle? At what location? We stopped the vehicle on Vermont. All right, so we'll do that again at 1:40, okay? Now you saw one vehicle in motion which was proceeding away from you in an eastbound direction. That is correct. Did you see any other vehicles in motion, either going east or west, at the time you saw this eastbound vehicle? No, sir. Did you see any pedestrians around the street or in the street itself? Not in the street, no, sir. In other words, when you say you saw this vehicle going east at a normal rate of speed, approximately what number of miles per hour do you mean? Well, the vehicle didn't attract my attention as far as being a speeding vehicle. It appeared to be just driving at a normal rate of speed for that street at that time of night. Now, when you had this conversation with Mrs. Boyd, did she relate anything about this eastbound moving vehicle? Yes, she did. All right. Now, as a result of that conversation, what did you and Mr. Miller do? We immediately pursued the vehicle. Now, when you say you pursued the vehicle, will you tell us just what you did? We turned on the red lights of the police vehicle and accelerated rapidly in pursuit of the vehicle. Did the police unit stop the vehicle that you were pursuing? Yes, sir. And where did you stop the vehicle? At what location? We stopped the vehicle on Vermont. Okay, now we'll do it at 1:20. Here we go. Now you saw one vehicle in motion which was proceeding away from you in an eastbound direction. That is correct. Did you see any other vehicles in motion, either going east or west, at the time you saw this eastbound vehicle? No, sir. Did you see any pedestrians around the street or in the street itself? Not in the street, no, sir. In other words, when you say you saw this vehicle going east at a normal rate of speed, approximately what number of miles per hour do you mean? Well, the vehicle didn't attract my attention as far as being a speeding vehicle. It appeared to be just driving at a normal rate of speed for that street at that time of night. Now, when you had this conversation with Mrs. Boyd, did she relate anything about this eastbound moving vehicle? Yes, she did. All right. Now, as a result of that conversation, what did you and Mr. Miller do? We immediately pursued the vehicle. Now, when you say you pursued the vehicle, will you tell us just what you did? We turned on the red lights of the police vehicle and accelerated rapidly in pursuit of the vehicle. Did the police unit stop the vehicle that you were pursuing? Yes, sir. And where did you stop the vehicle? At what location? We stopped the vehicle on Vermont. Was that tough? Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, I like it when you when you do start fast though,
Good.
because then it the lower speed just feels slower.
Doesn't it feel so much
So,
better? Yeah,
yeah,
you can really
yeah.
tell. Yeah.
But I have to tell you, in the one before the read back one, that I'm so glad you told me about methamphetamine because, oh my gosh, it was just like meth,
Yes.
wow.
Isn't that a lifesaver? Somebody
Yep.
gave me that hint a long time ago.
Yeah, that's
And
nice.
yeah, it,
I'm definitely putting that in my dictionary. Wow. I'm
yep.
sure that one will come up a few times.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That'll come up quite a bit, So yeah, now you want me to read that back and you can kind of follow along and see how you did?
Oh, I don't even know how I get to my notes here now that I'm on
Oh,
this machine. Let me see.
okay.
Um, no, you know what? I'm good. I'm
Okay.
good. I just, you know, I I really did a lot today in comparison to what I'm usually doing, and I'm tired.
Yeah, that's
So,
okay. No
yeah.
worries.
Yeah,
Well, I have family coming soon anyway,
that's
so
right. Did
yeah,
you make your pie?
I did. I made my pie and Paul's barbecuing steak on the barbecue.
I'm coming over to your house for dinner
Oh,
for
I know
dessert.
I can smell it. It
Oh my
smells so
gosh.
good.
Oh, go eat. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm gonna go make my carne asada. So
Oh, that sounds good.
doesn't that sound good? Oh my
Yes.
gosh.
And you guys have a wonderful dinner
You
too.
too. And happy
Okay.
birthday to your
Thank
son.
you. Thank
And
you.
so she hasn't gone into labor, huh?
Nope,
Okay.
nothing. Yeah,
Yeah, I
she's
know there
coming
wasn't
in
anything
soon.
this morning. So,
Yeah, no.
okay,
That
I'm
is,
hoping for Valentine's
yeah,
Day.
I know that because her due date's the 19th, so it very well could be the
Never
14th,
know.
Yeah.
Never know.
Yeah, that would
So,
be awesome. Valentine baby.
yeah.
So, all right. Well, have a wonderful evening. Now, tomorrow morning you work?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So I won't make it.
All right. Well, have
But
a great day tomorrow at work, and then I'll talk to you soon.
okay, Jill.
Okay. Bye.
Talk to you later.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye, Pandora.